5, 4, 3, 2,
Manchester
1,
United have
0.
reached the promised land.
How are we doing, everybody? Sam here, United People's TV. It's Monday morning. My Wi-Fi, don't you dare be doing that because my Wi-Fi is absolutely fine. Look, happy Antony flying to Manchester for his medical day. I don't know what sort of day it's going to be, but I'll tell you what, it's a happy bank holiday for everybody who isn't working in the UK. You lazy sods. But look, enjoy your day off, enjoy the bank holiday, and enjoy the feeling of starting the week with Antony flying to Manchester to complete his medical. Now, I had a conversation about him yesterday in quite a lot of detail. We covered it in the Here We Go story. I covered it in the afternoon about the bid accelerating. Look, man, I'm excited about what is being built at Manchester United this summer. It's about time we started laying some true foundations as a football club. Are we overspending this summer? Absolutely. What happens when you don't have a scouting department in your club? Bingo, bango, you don't scout. You just go up for the top tier players. And we are trusting Erik ten Hag, and he is getting backed this summer. What I'm going to speak about in this show is the latest on Antony. Update from Fabrizio Romano on his contract. Update from Jason Burt on the medical, on him flying to Manchester. The next steps, when we, I suppose, can expect the official announcement. And there are question marks about whether or not he's going to be in that squad to face Leicester. I don't personally think he will be. Certainly not in the starting 11. But look, going down here, anybody, no begging for anybody. Seriously, man, you can't beg for memberships. It's a weird thing. It's a gift from a community member. Don't beg for them. It's odd. Don't do that, people. But look, good morning to you, Tyler. Gyro, can see down there as members. And I can see there, Ian. Everyone's joining in. Cole Baldwin, OG over there. Look, even Or's here. I mean, geez, what's going on this morning? There's still so much. If I was being completely honest about what I wanted still to happen in the window, I want us to sign another attacker. I want us to sign another right back. I want us to sign a goalkeeper. I don't think we're going to get another central midfielder. I'd want one, but I don't think we will. So I don't even think that's worth a conversation. And at the same time as that, I want Wan-Bissaka to have a new club, to find a new club. I want Phil Jones to find a new club. I want Axel Tuanzebe to find a new club. But Erik ten Hag, I think there was a quote that came out last week, which I haven't actually looked into in any real great depth. He was saying, no, they're sort of unavailable. I don't know whether they've been injured or anything. I have no idea what Phil Jones is doing. Has anybody seen Phil Jones? It's like he's been locked in a dungeon. I'm pretty sure he's not training with the first team still. Man with no nickname. There's your nickname. Let me know where you're watching from, dude. Nice to have you on board. But look, all of you need to say, thank you very much, Sam, because I'm the reason. I'm not the reason at all. Look, I sent this out on Sunday night. I was like, look, Fab, can you give us a little bit of Here We Go action on a Sunday evening? Come on. Celebrate the bank holiday properly. And of course, he delivered with the Here We Go on Antony. That came yesterday evening. And we had a cracking stream last night. It was full of excitement. Of course, it was full of questions about his price tag, but that's not for us to have. Those questions aren't for us to ask, in my opinion. That's for the media to try and poke a jab in the side of Antony. Try and bring him down a notch. As fans, I don't think we'll do that. Whether he delivers or not, it is going to be, well, that's going to be the pressure that's put on him. And there is absolutely, it's without doubt that a player must feel that pressure of being a 100 million euro signing. Triple figures. It's going to play on his mind, no doubt, but he pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed for this move. And he knew the figures involved. So he must feel like he's strong enough mentally to cope with that. But Old Trafford is a different sort of cauldron to what he's dealt with before. But I hope he can deal with it. Now, Fabrizio Romano saying this is the latest on Antony, saying his lawyers are checking the contracts in order to sign Antony. Deal on Monday. The full agreement's already in place. The deal can be considered done, but it's going to be sealed today. So Antony should be signing his Manchester United contract and officially becoming, well, legally anyway, becoming a Manchester United player today. And there's a bit more information on this from Jason Burt from The Telegraph. So let's run through this article released late last night. We all know the fee around it. 84.4 million, apparently. Well, I'm guessing that's the latest conversion rate from 100 million euros. It's 95 million euros plus 5 million in easily attained add-ons. Whether that's going to be after Antony's scored 10 goals for the club or Antony's made 50 appearances for the club. I don't think any of us really know or any of us really, really care. And down here in the comments, saying, I think the price is all relative, really. A player is worth what a club will pay relative to the rest of the market value. I mean, it's absolutely the case. And I will speak about that in a little bit. And I'm just going to get through this article first. Let's read this. This is from Jason Burt from The Telegraph. He's saying Man United will finally sign Antony from Ajax for 100 million euros, with the Brazilian flying to England on Monday for a medical and to complete his move. So Jason Burt there saying that Antony's flying to Manchester today. Get this done swiftly. Now, the big question that all of us are going to be asking is, will we get to see Antony against Leicester? Really unsure, because if you're looking at the two big signings we made this summer, Casemiro and Martinez. Casemiro, it went from us being linked with him to us signing him and him being unveiled and being ready to play within the space of a week. Really, really quick. But with Martinez, there was 10 days between the deal being announced by the club and him being unveiled by the club. Because of work permit issues, because of post-Brexit, it's more difficult to get work permits issued inside the UK. There's more hoops to jump through. Don't know. Same thing. But my gut is telling me we probably won't see Antony against Leicester, but I think we will see him in some capacity against Arsenal. And that's going to be a fascinating first starting 11. Because on paper, I'm looking at that and going, well, obviously, it's going to be Antony on the right-hand side and Sancho on the left-hand side. But is it? I mean, could we see Rashford play there? I don't think we could or should. I think you're probably more likely to see Rashford through the middle. We've got some options that I think we should discuss, and I will discuss probably in the Leicester starting 11 and the Arsenal starting 11 videos. I've already done a video on how Man United could line up with Gakpo and Antony. Sorry, with Casemiro and Antony / Gakpo, because that was at the time we were linked with both. Maybe I could do a slightly updated one, really kind of focusing on our attack and how maybe we could have different sorts of setups with Antony in it. That could be a good video to do. A little bit more information here from the Jason Burt article, though. A 22-year-old has been the number one target of Ten Hag all summer. Well, not number one midfield target, maybe number one attacking target. But that fee is big, and we know that fee is big. But I don't particularly think that any United fan really minds, really cares. Because look at what our manager's being given. We all say it. Just back the manager. You have to back the manager. And look, let me pull this up. I think it's that one there. Erik Ten Hag has been backed, right? This is from Sky Sports. Yeah, it is Sky Sports. Antony there for £85 million, with Casemiro for 70 million, with Lisandro Martinez for 56.7 million, Christian Eriksen for free, and Tyrell Malacia for 15 million. A grand total so far in excess of 225 million. Now, if my memory serves me correctly, I think the most that any manager's been given post-Fergie in his first season at Manchester United was Solskjaer. That was when we signed Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, Dan James, and then we signed Bruno in January, I think. And that was around about 195 million. So what we're seeing now is Erik Ten Hag being backed. Of course, there are still massive question marks about this summer, about our activity. And I've told you, one big buzzword I've got about this summer is timing. It's the timing of it all. Man United did not need to force Ten Hag into that situation for the Brighton and Brentford games with the squad that he had. Instead, the club reacted. Manchester United being reactive rather than proactive. Hey, we haven't seen that before. Oh, yes, we have. Every single goddamn year for like 10 years. It's the thing that has to change at the club. But at least we reacted. That's what I mean. It's not a perfect transfer window. It's far from a perfect transfer window. We still need more. Yes, we still need more to leave. Yes. But if you don't think I'm going to be happy at those sorts of signings, then yeah, he is being backed. And yes, it is dangerous. It is dangerous for the fact that we have given Erik Ten Hag basically free reign on who we sign because we don't have a scouting department in there. There's a comment there that just caught my eye. Let me try and go back up and read it. Mass, you're saying, stop saying he was backed. Last week we bid for Arnautovic. Next week we got Casemiro, Antony, and for 160 million. And only one reason this happened is called Jim Ratcliffe and the Glazers. That's what I mean. You you can't say he's not been backed when we've got these signings, but it's the timing and the purpose behind all of a sudden finding 200 million down the back of the sofa. That's what I think doesn't sit well. It doesn't sit right with me. I'm sure it doesn't sit right with a lot of you as well. But I ran through the squad yesterday, and we've gone from a team which has Maguire and Lindelof lining up alongside each other with Luke Shaw and Dalot as the fullbacks and a midfield trio of Bruno, Fred and McTominay to a back five of De Gea with Martinez and Varane, with Matacir on the left-hand side and Dalot there, and a midfield trio of Casemiro, Eriksen and Bruno, and a front three now, instead of on the left, Rashford, Sancho, and, well, on the left, Rashford, on the right, Sancho, on the up front, Ronaldo. We've gone from that to Sancho on the left, Antony on the right, and who knows up front? One of Rashford, Martial, or Ronaldo, depending on what happens this season, depending on whether Ronaldo stays. It's a significant upgrade. It really is a significant upgrade. I completely agree with so many of you. How Manchester United went from getting a £7 million bid rejected for Arnautovic, then pulling out of the deal after the fans were like, what are you doing as a football club? They've backed out of that deal and putting in a 15 million, agreeing a fee with Juve for Rabiot, only for Veronique Rabiot to go, hold up, I want my son to get a ton more. And they go, well, hold up, no, never mind. So basically, the fans stopped the Arnautovic deal from happening. Rabiot's mum stopped the Rabiot deal from happening. Thank you very much, Veronique. Big up to you. To signing Casemiro and Antony. It's like, well, what? It's just, it's symptomatic of a poorly run football club, a club which reacts rather than proactively plans. And that is still a massive, big issue. But at the very least, on the surface level, we have to be happy that Erik ten Hag has got a lot of the players that he wanted to get. And no doubt there will hopefully, well, I hope there's still more to do. And with regards to the price tag, we spoke about this yesterday in quite a lot of detail. And I will speak about this again this morning. Because I said this yesterday. I said, look, Antony's overpriced. Yeah, Antony's massively overpriced. I know that. You know that. Every single football fan in the world knows that. No, I don't care. And that was the context I put it. I said, look, Nunez is going for 100 million. Well, he went for 100 million euros. Fofana, whether it's 70, I had some Chelsea fans all up in my comments this morning. 75 to 80 million. Well, that makes it doesn't matter what it is. 75, 80 million is still ridiculous money for Fofana. Cucurella for 62 million. Gordon possibly for 60 million. I said, look, this market has just inflated prices everywhere. And ultimately, if Antony can come to Old Trafford and turn it into his playground, which is what Erik ten Hag wants him to do, what Erik ten Hag is absolutely backing him to do, then the price tag's going to be, I would say, completely and utterly irrelevant. No one's really going to talk about it. The price tag's going to make it more difficult for him. It's going to take away leeway for Antony in terms of the media and how quickly he's going to be scrutinized. But in terms of the fan base, we will not turn on Antony. We will support him. And Ten Hag is the best person to manage him. He is the man who managed him when he came from Sao Paulo to Ajax, which is a huge step into a massive arena. And he's like, oh, this is intimidating. Ten Hag was able to use that natural young talent and allow it and gave it the platform to flourish at Ajax. And I hope he'll be able to do the same thing at Manchester United, because in the same way that Sao Paulo to Ajax is just, wow, that's a massive step up. Ajax to Manchester United, wow, that's a massive step up. So Ten Hag's managed it before. I hope he can manage it again. And if he can, and if he delivers, it's the sort of player that really lights teams up. He's going to add an X factor, if you want to call it that. He's just going to add some sprinkling of star quality into a team, which, let's be honest, we do have even though we were playing well, and we have played well, there is a massive element of predictability about how Manchester United operate in terms of our attacks. Jadon Sancho is the only player out of that attack that you can... Oh, that surprised me. Elanga, you know what he's going to do. Rashford, you know what he's going to do. Martial, you know what he's going to do. Ronaldo, you know what he's going to do. Sancho had that little bit of unpredictability about him. Antony is full of that. And that is what makes him so dangerous as a player. Martin saying, what number will Antony get down there? I don't know. You let me know what you think. What number you think he'll get. But I've told you, I don't really give a toss about numbers anymore. Like, back in the day, I used to really care about number 7 until the look, that number 7 shirt right there. Used to have a fabled history at Manchester United until it was given to Owen Valencia, Memphis Depay, and Angel Di Maria. Well, lots and lots of you going down there with 11. Well, 11 should be free, right? That's the last time I mentioned that. But 11 down there, 21. Danny, you're asking whether there's a protest before Arsenal. There will be a protest before Arsenal. There will be a protest before every single home game, I imagine, this season, until the Glazers leave. And that is the major difference that the 1958 have been able to do. It's made such a substantial difference to the mobilization of these protests, to the impact of these protests, and to the continuation of these protests. It's so much more impactful to have 19 smaller protests across the course of the season rather than 2, 3, 4 massive, huge protests, because it keeps the conversation right at the top of the to-do list, in the in tray, right at the top. That's a big thing that they've done. But yeah, I imagine, no doubt, that there will be one before the Arsenal game. Bruin, let me know where you're watching from. Brian, you're asking there about Memphis. I'm going to be speaking about the Memphis rumors in a little bit down there. But look, I saw this graphic from Bleacher Report yesterday. It kind of made me laugh. Straight out of Ajax. Of course, using the old straight out of Compton logo branding right there. Look at the trousers of Erik ten Hag. Woof. Just made me laugh. But yeah, that is. You could probably, you could add Daley Blind onto that. Get Albin van der Sar on there if you fancy it. Maybe put a Christian Eriksen in there too. Yeah, it's a risk, right? And that's, I go back to this. Yeah, it's a risk. But he is trying to. Let me actually, let me get the graphic back on screen. It's a good one. Well done to Bleacher Report for that bad boy. Made me laugh. Erik ten Hag has come to Manchester United to build a team in his identity. And we've allowed him to bring in quite a few soldiers, right? If he's General ten Hag, we've got a few. We've probably got Lieutenant Martinez. Antony just looks like the top level soldier. He's like your elite, like super soldier. Donny van der Beek, it's like a happy private. That's what I call him. And Christian Eriksen, he's like the general who's been there a few times. Just that experienced dude that you go there and you ask. I want to watch Band of Brothers again now that I'm speaking about that. Anyone watch Band of Brothers? Actually got that Blu-ray box set on my table. I might watch one today. I love Band of Brothers. Anyway, getting distracted. But Ten Hag's being given, I suppose, the tools that he feels he needs, right? And we're now going to see this season whether it works. But I'll be completely honest, and I say this, and you know me, I love positivity where there is positivity, but I genuinely feel the way that Martinez has started, the way that he's responded as well immediately to the criticisms that he got against Brentford, the way that Madison has started. I don't think anybody doubted that Eriksen would start like that. And I don't doubt that Casemiro will have the same sort of impact. Ten Hag's signings seem to be settling in and working into the system straight away. And that's exciting. Because the one thing we've got to do, actually not the one thing, one of many things we've got to do, start getting more of the bullseyes on the transfer market hit rate. You saw that list that Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher made on Monday Night Football. They only put what was it? Bruno and Zlatan as the 2 successful signings. It was such a ridiculous list. I'm not saying there was a ton more in the green, but the players they had in the red and the players they had in the amber, it was all sorts of wrong. But if we can start getting more hits and start building the team, then even though we are spending big money there, see, next summer won't be like that. Next summer shouldn't be like that. I'm not saying that we shouldn't spend next summer, but we should be getting far more of these types of signings. These signings that are in the region of, I don't know, between 15 and 35, 40 million for players who haven't quite made it to that top level yet, but players who have been identified as top level players. And all of a sudden, those sorts of signings in a few years' time, they'd be worth 50, 60, 70, 80 million rather than going out and spending that much. That's what happens when you've got a good scouting department. But United don't have it this summer. That's why we spent big. But we have backed the manager. Big Gay, what are you saying down there, sir? Sam, not going to lie, this man got clapped up by Malacia easily. 2, I'm staying conservative. What are you saying? Conservative on Malacia, or you're staying conservative on Antony? I'm not here saying that Antony is going to be the be-all and end-all. I've no doubt that he will take a little bit of time to settle in. But I think we've made an absolutely top-level signing there, man. I really, really do. I I don't know. I just trust Ten Hag, whether it's blind trust, whatever trust you want to call it. I like the signings we've made this summer. I really, really do. Oh, man. Yeah. Afendi, what are you doing down there? Afendi, you gifting 10 memberships. That's what I mean. You can't ask for anybody to... You can't ask for presents. But honestly, the community here, I'm so proud of the community that's been built. Genuinely, it's a real community feeling. When I went to the protest at Liverpool, such different types of people came up to me. It was a family with a young girl. I can't remember your names off the top of my head. There was a dude with tattoos all over his head, proper old United bod. He came up to me. Some 6'4" lad came up to me. Young. It was such a variety of people that came up and said, "Look, man, I like what you're doing," and it puts a big smile on my face. And I'm glad that, and that's why integrity to me is such a crucial part of everything I do here on United People's TV, because I want to be able to walk into a protest like that amid 10,000 United fans and not be worried, because I'm proud of the content I do and the club that I'm trying to represent properly. So thank you very much, everybody. And that's what I said. Thank you very much to the gifted memberships. It's awesome. It really, really is. Estevo, what are you saying, sir? If someone told me we'd be replacing Bailly, Lingard, Pogba, and Matic with Anthony, Eriksen, Casemiro, and Martinez, I would have broken their arm off. I would have thrown them off a cliff. I wouldn't have thrown them off a cliff. I'm not a murderer. But I'm going to be assessing the window as a whole next week, because we've only got 3 days left. Wow. We've 3 days left in this window. What a summer it has been. It has been fully mad. Fully mad. It really, really. I expected this summer to be a bit wild. I didn't expect it on the levels that it's got to. Saves Mount here. You're trying to make yourself feel better there. Ajax fan as well. It's 50-50 with Antony and Ziyech is clear. You tell yourself whatever you need to tell yourself, my friend, to get to bed at night. I'll be happy with Antony over here. ABC, you're saying, why should we trust this squad to finish top 4? Now we're spending 200 million to finish 6th again. Or are you more positive than me? I wouldn't say it's the fact that I'm more positive than me. It's just like the comment there just said. We've literally got rid of Pogba, Matic, Lingard, and Cavani. We've brought in Antony, Casemiro, Martinez, Eriksen, and Malacia. Probably going to get a backup goalkeeper. Probably going to get a backup right back, hopefully, if we can find a club for Wan-Bissaka. This squad is a significant upgrade on the squad last year. And we've got Erik ten Hag in. And we've had a positive preseason. The foundations are being built. That's what this season is about. Stage 1, foundations. Because we've been building houses on quicksand for the last few years. That is what Ten Hag is trying to change this summer. Comment there. Sorry, there's a member there joining. Taylor, let me know where you're watching from there. Anthony, you're coming up. Anthony, too many Anthonys. Elanga, is it you? There's so many Anthonys going on right now. I've lost count. Mark my words, the last 3 days are going to be wild as well. As I said at the start of the video, in an ideal world, you'd see Tuanzebe, Jones. Who else? Tuanzebe and Jones leave, and Wan-Bissaka. You'd ideally see a backup right back, backup goalkeeper. And if Ronaldo does leave, look, man, 3 days left, and you cannot rule out the possibility of Cristiano Ronaldo leaving this club. So let's move on and let's speak about what is coming next. Antony, he's flying to Manchester today. My scouting video on Antony is going to go out at lunchtime. Looking forward to doing that one. Sort of an in-depth look as to why Antony is such a different type of attacker to what we've got and why I'm so excited about the signing. But it seems like Martin Dubravka is the next name on the list. Fabrizio Romano here saying that Manchester United are pushing to sign him as their next signing. Newcastle expected the answer today after the official loan bid was submitted with a 5 million buy option included. He wants it. He's agreed personal terms. It's a backup goalkeeper. And that's pretty much all I need to say about it. I need to look into the detail a little bit more about Dubravka's ability, whether he's just going to be another long ball merchant. That's not really going to change too much. But Dubravka, look, I personally think Tom Heaton's absolutely fine as a backup goalkeeper. I don't really understand the need to go and get one. I'll be honest. Like if I would put Dubravka absolutely alongside Tom Heaton as saying, okay, there's a decent backup goalkeeper for you. I don't think it moves the needle that much, but obviously Erik ten Hag doesn't trust Tom Heaton enough. Otherwise, he would. Taylor, thank you very much for Super Sticker, dude. But look, let's go up here because, of course, there's more names being thrown around. This is coming from David Ornstein this morning with his latest on who else Manchester United might be looking at towards the end of this window. And there's a couple of names that have popped up here that we will definitely have a conversation about now. Manchester United have also been keeping tabs on Aubameyang and Memphis Depay, while Cristiano Ronaldo's future remains uncertain. He's commenting there about Frankie de Jong. I don't particularly think we need to have a conversation there about Frankie de Jong. But Memphis and Aubameyang. What do you think about that in the comments? You let me know then. We go down there. So Anthony's saying, look, we need a third goalkeeper. Okay, there you go. Fair enough. We need a backup goalkeeper. We do need honestly, man, if you get an injury to Delo, what United are going to do at right back? Our right flank just falls off the face of the earth. And we've just signed Antony to make it brilliant up there. It's a risk. And that's what happens when you don't have that true squad depth. United have got a good first 11 now and a far better second 11, actually, than we've had for a good amount of time. There's still weaknesses. There's still concerns that you have in there. And right back is probably the biggest one I think I've got because of how important fullbacks are to the Erik ten Hag system. Left back, look, I think we've got enough there. I don't know whether Shaw's going to be able to do it across the course of the season. I'll be completely honest. But Shaw and Malacia is enough there for the left back. But right back, Dalot, Ethan Laird's gone out on loan. Wan-Bissaka has just been, he's getting left out of match day squads. That's how little faith Erik ten Hag has in him. I don't know who plays right back. Who does play right back? If Dalot, honestly, if we don't sign anybody, right, between now and the end of the season at right back, end of the summer, sorry, and Dalot gets injured, who do you think goes in at right back? Type your names in the comments. I'll be really interested to see that there. Peter, you're saying Maguire, Wan-Bissaka should be on the transfer list. We need to start talking to Chelsea. Man, Chelsea signing everybody. I don't think Maguire's going to be going anywhere. Let me see what you're saying down here about Memphis. Memphis Depay's current form. I'll be completely honest about Memphis. That's what I feel about Memphis. Like, is that all right? Okay. I mean, he's a versatile forward. I remember that season where Memphis first came before Luke Shaw broke his leg against PSV. Down the left-hand flank, Shaw and Memphis were building up a little partnership. I was like, that looks really good. I like the look of that. And obviously the injury came in and, well, we know what happened then. Memphis, I suppose Memphis Depay on a free transfer would give us an option, but it's not a signing which would, I don't know, excite me massively, if I'm being completely honest. And maybe I'm being slightly unfair. As for Aubameyang, I don't even want to have a conversation about Aubameyang. That's how little I want that man at my club. I don't care. I'd rather we struggle with a Moody Ronaldo and Rashford and Martial through the middle this season than bring Aubameyang into the club. The reason Arsenal have been able to do what they've done is because they booted him out of the club. And he was club captain at that point in time. He is the wrong sort of attitude to bring into our club. A man who would command ridiculous wages, who's 33 years old, who's looking for his payday. That is absolutely Alexis Sanchez part 2. Stay the hell away from Aubameyang. I don't want to have that conversation. Taylor, how you doing, buddy? Watching from Northern Ireland? Yes, mate. You watching from Derry? That's where the family's from. There was a super chat up there as well. I don't want to miss these ones. Vanderson from Monaco for right back. Take a look at him. Trippier will do. I know Trippier, man. Mr. Free Kick connoisseur. Mate, Newcastle fans must have been fuming when Trippier didn't take that free kick in the last minute against Wolves yesterday. Absolutely fuming. Let me see down here. Brandon Williams. Okay, fair enough, actually. Right, fair enough. I completely not forgot that Brandon Williams existed. And you're saying that Murto and Arnold have been to PSG to negotiate for Hakimi. Oh, look, Ant's got his sources down there. Let's see what goes on with it. We're not going to be signing Hakimi. What's that? How much would he cost? 60? 50? 50, 60? I don't know. A lot of dough. Midfield is the weak point. I would say right back is probably the weakest of points now. I think Casemiro comes in and adds far more into that midfield than you think he does. But yeah, we still need that progressive playmaker from deep in midfield. No one's going to argue otherwise. But yeah, I think you're probably right. I think you're probably right in saying Brandon Williams, but Brandon Williams is what? He had a cracking year on loan at Norwich. Wasn't on the pre-season tour. Hasn't really, I'm sure he's been training. I haven't even seen him in training. It would be like I don't want to say it, but scraping the barrel. It's kind of what it is. That's what Brandon Williams, that's a really unfair way to describe it. But given how little he's been involved in the plans, it would just be like, well, okay, right, there you go. So I think we want to look for a right back. I really, really do. And if I go over here back to Jason Burt's article from this morning, this is what he says down here at the bottom of his. He says this. He says the club, Manchester United, are also moving for Newcastle United goalkeeper Martin Dubravka to provide competition for David De Gea, and are considering signing a right back or a midfielder or possibly even another forward before the transfer deadline. So that's what I mean. We can't be sitting here and saying, oh, there you go, transfer activity done. Even with a couple of days left, even after we spent in excess of 225 million, there is a possibility of more because we do need more. That's what I mean. It's not, you can't class it as a 10 out of 10 window, but for anybody, and I've seen some United fans, it's just outrageous. Like saying, this is a 3 out of 10 window. We needed another striker. We needed another central midfielder. We needed another right back. We needed a new goalkeeper. I'm like, what planet are you on? What football planet? Because you're not based in reality. Man United have had a mega summer in terms of the signings that have come in. More was needed, but it just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. I'd love for you to show me. No, you can see what happened at Guardiola. There was I think it was his second season where he went absolutely balmy. I think it was like 290 million he spent that summer. Got a ridiculous amount of signings. Rarely, really rarely does that happen in football. So to try and label this summer as a failure because we haven't signed all the other players is just, I just don't think it's based in reality. Binder, you always enjoy it, mate. Nice to have you on board here. Max Aaron, you're saying down there. A few of you mentioning Ghana. Hopefully I don't know what's going on with Ghana. Was it 15 million? We were hearing about that. And that's gone a bit muted. So yeah, add Ghana into the list. Ghana, Wan-Bissaka, Tuanzebe, Ronaldo. Wow. Then you've got Dubravka, right back, potential Gakpo deal. Speaking of Gakpo, let's bring him up here. This is the comment on Gakpo. This was what he said yesterday. He says, look, there are also other options. United are a serious option. I can hear it all. I try to shut myself off from it, but it's difficult. Gakpo, he would love to join Manchester United, right? He would absolutely he'd love to join Manchester United. Gakpo is far less polished, I would say, than Antony. And Antony's not exactly completely polished. He's still a bit of a rough diamond. But Gakpo is, I suppose, a couple of tiers down from that. A very, very different type of attacker to Antony as well. Somebody who's really capable and happy to play with his back to goal, bring the ball down, hold people off, bring others into play. Antony far more loves receiving the ball in space and square it and facing head on to a defender. Gakpo plays off the left. Antony plays off the right. Completely different players. So I wouldn't ever say that Gakpo was an alternative to Antony in terms of positionally. He was an alternative in the same way that I suppose Casemiro was an alternative to De Jong. Different types of midfielders, but an alternative all the same. Gakpo, the only way that Gakpo situation develops, in my opinion, is if Ronaldo leaves. And even though he wants to leave, and even though Manchester United and Eric Ten Hag at this point, no, maybe not Manchester United, but Eric Ten Hag at this point is like, right, okay, if you can find the club, then you can leave. I just don't see how one appears out of nowhere now. That's the thing I can't get my head around. If out of nowhere Atletico Madrid comes in, or Napoli, or it's probably one of those two, you think, because I don't think it's going to be Sporting Lisbon. Ronaldo's going to stay. And I have no idea how he would act this season, sorry. I imagine he'd be still the consummate professional when it comes to training, when it comes to application. But when it comes to actual ability inside this system, you saw it in the we saw it with our eyes in the last 25 minutes against Southampton. Because we were playing in that way, we were playing breaking through the press, breaking with pace, that's not Ronaldo's game anymore, man. Ronaldo's game is, I'll be in the 18-yard box. You give me the ball. I'll score. It's a different style of play to what Ronaldo is. Or you're saying, look, 7 out of 10 for signings, 3 out of 10 for time frame. Glazers out, baby. Let's go down here. Radu, you're saying, look, Gakpo has better stats than Antony, but yeah, who cares? Antony's predictable and exciting to watch. I mean, it depends how you're looking at the stats. Saint Maximan, man, I'll tell you what, Saint Maximan's really, really improved me, man. Improved me? He hasn't done anything for me. He's impressed me. St. Maximan's output has like rocketed this season. He's always had that flair, that excitement about him, but a lot of the times it led to nothing. This season, he's delivering, really showing that he's probably a better player. Probably a better player than people give him credit for. We go down here and see what you're saying in the comments. I think you're all talking about Ronaldo. Kumar, this is genuinely it. No one wants him. It is such a sad fall from grace. It really is, man. Jorge Mendes has done everything in his power this summer, from meeting Todd Boehly, Chelsea's owner, before the transfer request was put in, to, I mean, asking Bayern and Real Madrid and PSG and Juve and every single club. No. Ronaldo's still here. He doesn't fit the system. Ronaldo's not part of the long-term rebuild that Erik ten Hag is trying to do at Manchester United. I wish he was a few years younger. I wish he could be part of this rebuild, but he won't be, right? My gut instinct is telling me that Ronaldo's going to stay at Manchester United this season through a lack of choice and nothing more. He wants to leave. He does not want to play for Manchester United anymore. And if Ronaldo really is that desperate to leave, he will terminate his own contract. That's a possible solution. And that would be a crazy, crazy solution. Crazy end to what it is. But I can't rule it out. I can't rule that out. So I suppose let's see how it develops. I'd be very surprised if there's a club that comes in at this point and all of a sudden wants to pay that amount of money for him. But let's see. Let's go on. Down here, there's a comment there. I'll tell you what, Nani, because we feasted on such a good diet at that point in time. Nani was a player who was like, oh, Nani, oh man. When you look back at Nani, you're like, Jesus, we were lucky to have him. I loved Nani. He was the frustrating guy. But Nani had the ability to, with the flick of a switch, the flip of a coin, boom, out of nowhere, make something happen. He scored some absolute pearlers. I think one of my favorite ones was that goal he scored against Arsenal where he skipped in from the right wing and then chipped it over Almunia into the corner. That was an absolute worldie. I love Nani. Especially love the keep ups did against Arsenal when we were like 3-4 up at Old Trafford. Woohoo. Big Gay saying Sam wasn't the less polished Gakpo, the Eredivisie Player of the Year, broski. Yeah, he was the Eredivisie. No, was he? Actually, I think he was. Look, I'm not saying that Gakpo is far from it. I'm not saying Gakpo is a bad player. He's clearly a top level player, but him arriving completely depends on Ronaldo leaving. If Ronaldo leaves, I really do think that Gakpo could come in. I could see Manchester United pulling that trigger, but I just don't see how Ronaldo leaves. Not at this point in the window, not without a club that wants him. And the only way in reality that it does happen is if Ronaldo sort of terminates his own contract, if he pays off his own contract. Chelsea goal for Nani as well was an absolute screamer. Ooh, yeah, mate. Nani still looks absolutely shredded. I don't know how long I don't know how old he is. Lim, you're saying why can't you see my super chat? I don't know, buddy. I can't see anything there. If you've been sending in super chats, then we go up there. No. Oh, there it is. There's one there actually. You missed my last super chats. You think we'll go for him? Tielemans? No, I don't. Tielemans is a weird one. Tielemans is a really weird one. I don't know why people haven't gone in for him. No one's gone in for him. Arsenal have been linked with him all summer long. Yet still, they've not gone in for him. Odd. It's really odd. 7 out of 10 for incomings. 1 out of 10 for outgoings. It kind of depends on where you stand because Manchester United of old, we would have given new contracts to Mata, Matic, Lingard, Pogba and Cavani just to protect their values as assets so we didn't lose them for free. So there's no way that I can give it a 1 out of 10 for outgoings because that was a bit of a switch. But in terms of other outgoings, yeah. Eric Bailly going out on loan, I think that was necessary for the club. The idea of James Garner leaving, no, thank you. I don't want that to happen. I really don't want that to happen. I think it's such a stupid deal. Such a stupid deal to try and get 15 million for a player who's come through the academy, had a stormer of a loan spell at Forest, got promoted, come in, is hungry, wants to play for United. And now we're going to sell him 15 million. It's a bit weird. It's a bit odd. A couple of people are saying I'm missing super chats. I don't know if I'm trying to read them all out. I swear. I'm not doing it on purpose. It's because there's certain ones that come up different colors and it doesn't give me a little notification at the top of the screen. There he goes there. Oh, Your super chat, my friend, had absolutely nothing in it. That's probably why I didn't read it. But yeah, everybody, if you've got any questions you want to ask me, now's your time. Fire them in. I'll try and answer them. But we've got 3 days left in the window. And as I said, if we got everything done that I wanted to, we would get Jones out of the club. We get Tuanzebe out of the club. We would sign a backup right back for Diogo Dalot. We would sign a new striker, and Ronaldo would leave. They're the things that I would love to see, whether it's a new striker or a new attacker. I don't know, whether it's Gakpo or an actual striker. I think that must be what it is. The blue ones don't come up on screen. I don't know why. Just a platform I'm using. It's not my fault. Who would I sign as a backup right back? It's a really good question because we've been linked with so many different ones, from like Thomas Meunier to Dest from Barcelona. I don't know how many other ones, if I'm being completely honest, but I don't have a preference, if I'm being totally honest, because we're looking at a player who's only going to come and be the safety net for Dalot. So whoever that safety, Denzel Dumfries, there's another one from Inter Milan. I don't particularly see it as a massively exciting signing. It's a necessary signing, I would call it. But we're not going to sign someone who's going to knock Dalot out of the first team spot. But we basically got to go and find a right back version of Tyrell Malacia. That's the signing that will be super for United. A 10 to 15 million pound right back who can come in, and if he's got the hunger and desire, can force Dalot out of that team. And if not, Dalot will stay in as the first team player. Joshua, Sam, do you think if Napoli were to offer Ronaldo and sign him on a free, should we let him leave? Well, you see the mad thing that happened last week. There was reports of, what was it? Osimhen to United for like 120 mil, and then we send Ronaldo to them on loan and pay all of his wages. Wow. Well, that's the best deal I've ever heard in my entire life. Where do I sign? Where do I sign? Rajvi is saying, if we get a new CM and a new right back, is our squad ready for top 4? I would argue that the squad as it stands now really should be capable of challenging for that top 4. I still feel that we might just fall short. But if my expectation going into the season was to finish 5th, with the signings that we've made there, we should be challenging for the top 4 this year. Come the last few weeks of the season, we should be in the hunt for that top 4. Whether we fall short, well, that might be the case. But there's no way come the start of, April, May, that we should be nowhere near that top 4. That will be a failure, I think, now, given the tools that he's had. Rob, you're over there saying, look, to be honest, mate, I'm just excited to see what the rest of the season holds. So, mate, so am I, man. As I said, the one thing I wanted Manchester United to be this season was to not be a joke. For United to not be the whipping boys of teams, to go into a game with a bit of confidence and a bit of zhuzh, bit of swaz. We've got that now. And Antony is definitely going to be the swaz. Klein saying, Sam, how deep do you think our couch is? Maybe there's another 170 million down there for Gakpo, Frankie de Jong and Des. I don't know, man. Maybe we've got another sofa in the spare room. That'll be nice. What we're saying down here. Oh, man. Oh, what are you doing down here? I know exactly what you've done. And I never know how to react to this because it blows my mind every single time. Or has gifted 50 memberships down there in the comments. Everybody, take a moment and a pause to say thank you to all. Absolute legend, proper OG of the channel here since the very, very beginning. One of the earliest mods. Love the bloke. Cracking guy. Always on United Arms when United Arms was there. I'm going to bring United Arms back at some point this season. I'm going to bring it back in a members-only environment because the community is becoming so big now that there's certain stuff I want to keep just for the members. Honestly, it's staggering. It's a staggering show of generosity, and this is exactly why I don't ask for memberships, man. Just if you join in the community, maybe at some point you'll get the privilege of getting a membership from all. One absolute dude of the channel, man. Thank you very, very much. And mate, what a wonderful way to to finish the stream. Honestly, mate, this summer's been absolutely wild to cover here on United People's TV. I feel like it's probably been the best content I've produced over the last 4 to 6 months. It's been a rocky few years, man. It's been a rocky few years, some ups and downs. A lot of you have stuck with me the whole way through, but now we're heading in the right direction as a football club. This community is really, really heading in the right direction. We've got some cracking signings in there. There still might be some more between now and the end of the window. Things are looking up as a football club. We've had years and years now of just, well, we've been laughed at. But we feasted on a diet of 13 Premier League titles, didn't we, under Fergie? I suppose it comes around full circle. But hopefully this is the beginning of a new cycle because I'm bored of the old one. Jeez, I'm bored. I do not want to see it. Last season was the pits, the absolute pits. But thank you, everybody, for joining in. Make sure you drop a like on the video. As I say, make sure you say thank you very much to or in the comments as well. I'll be here tomorrow. I'll be here all week, 9:30, covering it. I'll be here on deadline day 2. I'll be here at lunchtime today. I'm going to go work on the Antony scouting report next. What a cracking few days there with Antony coming in. And look at those signings, man. Antony, Casemiro, Martinez, Eriksen, and Malacia, with Pogba, Cavani, Mata, Matic, and Lingard leaving the club on free. Our squad is shaping up. Far from complete, but certainly better than it was last year. And as I say, one more time, big up to all. I apologize. I can't remember your name off the top of my head, but somebody else gifted 10 memberships during that stream as well. Legends. Big up, everyone. Have a cracking day. And enjoy your bank holiday if you're in England, by the way.